You're listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. I am your host, Al Mega, CEO of Comic Crusaders and Undercover Capes. In this show, I'm sitting down with creators from all walks of life to talk about inspiration, process, the lessons they've learned, and a whole lot more.
What a minute, this is your boy Al Mega. Woo! I'm excited because today we're talking about two of my favorite things here: comic books and technology. And man, oh man, like what these folks is doing on the digital space, independent, of course, indie baby as well. Woo! I mean, three favorite things even. I'm excited. All right, so I mean, this person I have here, he is a sales whiz. He is a fellow geek. He's the head of partnerships at the dope company I'm talking about called Storiaverse. Let me introduce the man, the myth, the legend, the one with the most super kick collection I've ever seen, Mr. Todd Gallet. How you doing?
That is a beautiful intro, my friend. I love it. That gets the juices flowing.
Yeah, let's go. It's about the energy, man. Giving them that wepa. You know what I mean? So Todd, welcome, to the Comic Crusaders podcast. Thanks for tuning in and especially to discuss this amazing platform that you're a part of that we're about to talk about today in Storiaverse. I had the pleasure of checking out one of the stories. I mean, it's so far you mix so many different mediums, if you will. Yeah, folks, we're gonna talk about it. And I have a little PowerPoint that I could show off. I had a video, but I was told maybe not to publish it. I don't know if I could show it. It's kind of a trailer. I don't know. You tell me if I can. You're the boss.
Whatever you want. No, let's do it. Yeah. I don't know if you have it set up, but whatever you got.
I have it set up. I have it. Of course. I asked first out of respect.
Yeah, of course.
This is what it is, man. I got to respect my indie people. So, Todd, before we get into the awesomeness of what the app is, I want folks to know a little bit about you. You know what I mean? The good old origin story, if you will.
Yes, sir.
So let me know where you OG from, and if you were in fact a geek, what was the first thing that you fell in love with?
Oh yeah, no, yes. So let me start there. So I come from the generation of Thundercats and He-Man, and like I said, that's my generation. I aged myself, right? Well, I'm in that the retro phase already of my life. So Ninja Turtles. So it's funny, I was talking to my co-founder the other day, and it's amazing the transition of I went from just obsessed with those Ninja Turtles, He-Man, and Thundercats. Thundercats was, for whatever reason, was just that was my thing. Yeah, that was my one. And then that transitioned into like wrestling as you get older, right? Then those superheroes transitioned into WWE, and it was the Ultimate Warrior, that generation, right, of like the 90s, and then that transitioned into like Sly Stallone and Arnold and Van Damme, like, so it's like a weird transition of like when I started anime, the hero kind of just evolved over time, So always been a fan of that genre. And my journey has always been, like you said, I'm the sales guy. I'm the talker of these companies, and connected with as it pertains to Storyverse, connected with the two founders, Dave and Agnes, almost a decade ago. And we've been on this journey ever since, through multiple companies. And I've always kind of focused on the partnership aspect of it, and the sales side of things, and working with talent and promotional stuff. And it's kind of led us through multiple mediums, from what started as video back in the YouTube days. Then we were in podcasting, and now we're here working with, artists, both on the fiction side and the animation side. So it's been an exciting journey.
Did you expect this to be a journey?
Yes. What I loved about
I was driven.
Yeah. What I love about the entrepreneurial space is it's just the journey of creating something. Every time I've worked for another company, larger companies, corporations, you end up being that cog in the wheel. And I've just really kind of found a passion for building, the businesses from very early on, and seeing those successes kind of come along the way, and the ups and downs, and the exciting conversations that you have along the way, and the people you meet. So it's that's part of what I love about the whole thing.
All right. So you said that with the partner that started this bad boy with a decades-long relationship. Talk the story about that bromance. How did you guys even meet and decide to kind of work and build stuff together?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So when I came on board with the first company, was a company called FameBit. And FameBit was early days of YouTube. Well, not early days of YouTube, but 2014-ish, where YouTube was really starting to take off as a marketing play, where you had the big quote unquote influencers, right? But you had the big names. And Dave and Agnes, the co-founders, they really saw the vision of the mid and long tail creator. We're going to talk about the indie creators, right? But in early days of YouTube, it was really only focused on the big names, and that's where the brands were going, and people were buying, the networks were buying those. And they really had this vision that you could really create a marketplace where you could really focus on the next generation of creators, the creators that are, just on the come up, trying to find their audience, trying to find brand opportunities and collaborate. And they had started the marketplace called FameBit. And when I came along, I was actually in a much stuffier space. I was in financial technology, and I was
how boring.
I was wearing a suit to work every day, and was really trying to get into more of the marketing side of things and ad agencies, etc. And really just found them as an opportunity to find a startup that was fairly early on, and help them build on like more of the bigger brand deals, right? Bringing more bigger dollars in, the investment from brands to invest in this kind of medium of like scaled creators.
So how did you learn to navigate that though? How did you learn how to navigate, building those bridges and then having those conversations, not asking for your secret sauce, don't spill it all. I know there's going to be a tell-all book one day, but in anything you could share in regards to people, that are also trying to build something, like, how did you navigate, that build bridging and that building?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, again, Dave and Agnes, they're great at building the tech side of things. Dave is a great product guy. He built Storiaverse, which you said is pretty amazing, and he's done.
Oh, it is. It's beautiful. Oh, wait till I show you some pictures, and we do have a video that he said it's okay to play.
So, so again, like they've done a great job building the structure of the marketplace, and you build a great product. And what my skill set in is going out and selling that dream, the vision, the excitement to the public, right? To, in that case, which was brands, right? Get brands to say, instead of putting all your money into one big name or one big celebrity or, whatever it might be, like there are so many great talent. There's so many, so really trying to just build that dream and that vision and the excitement around what we're doing here and supporting the creators, the independent creators, the up and coming creators, people that have their own independent fan bases, right? So you don't need one person that has 30 million followers when you could get hundreds of creators that have their own individual kind of dedicated fan bases, the way independent comic book creators have their dedicated fan bases, right? That love the work, that, everything is so subjective. So, really trying to build that narrative, those packages where everyone wins, right? And that's kind of what I love, even to this day, what I'm doing, right, is going out there and kind of selling, not even selling, just building the excitement. I shouldn't even say selling, building the excitement around what we're trying to build, right? The vision. Sometimes people aren't able to see the vision when it's so early on, right? You're a visionary. I see it. You see.
I see it. I'm loving it. I'm like, oh my God, we've been needing this. What a way to evolve.
And that's what I love about the creators, because creators see it. Sometimes other people, they don't have the vision to see what it could be, right? Until it's in your face, right? Some people didn't see Uber until they were in the car. But they, with this, again, the creators, they see it. Someone like yourself, someone who's on the creative side, we've had such an amazing response from animators, writers, comic books, because they see what this could be, and where this could be a great distribution. So I love having those conversations. That's really what I love to do.
Yeah, because you're really replacing something that's gone. Once Amazon bought that other brand, I mean, a certain view that we were enjoying is kind of gone. And while that was cool, it's like you guys said, please. That's exactly what you said. When I saw this in motion, I said, holy smokes, this is so cool. It is so immersed. So, folks, let me bring up a little prop. I'm going to show the video in a little bit. But I got to see some panels, stories. I mean, look at all that beautiful art. I need to find out even like the people you work with. We'll find out in a minute. But again, yes, it is an app. It is for your phone. It is available on both Android and iOS, correct, Todd?
Yes, correct. Yep.
I mean, and look at that Odyssey. That looks so Disney-esque. It's beautiful. That's right. If you got a dope phone like that, you could be laying it on your desk as you work, bored out your mind, doing your day job. But make sure you do your job though.
That's it.
But you could definitely be entertained through what they got going on here on that dope. I mean, but look at this. We have some stories. So I want you to talk to me about these things right here, and I'm gonna show a video, but for you, in your own words, what makes this so much more different than any other digital app that's out right now for, storytelling?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think really what's exciting is the breadth of content creators that we're working with, right? We are really not siloed into one genre of content, right? What might be sci-fi, horror, fantasy, or on the animation side, it's anime, or it's 2D hand-drawn, or it's Unreal Engine. We really are trying to create a platform that has a full breadth of content, right? We started with these silos of writers, and what's quickly expanded is now we work with comic book artists and adapting that content, adapting screenwriters who want to adapt their screenplays. Obviously, we have the writers, we have novelists that want to create a novel into individual kind of limited series and dropping those as episodes. Just so much kind of opportunity to kind of leverage these different creative minds in a way that's non-restrictive, right? We really want to allow, what's been really exciting is that we don't want to put any kind of level of censorship on the creation of the content. We accept all stories of all genres, and really just try to find the best storytelling, like you just said. So really, it doesn't matter what genre writer you are. We have everything from New York Times bestsellers to people that are just starting to publish their work, from short story writers to novelists to screenwriters. Everyone is welcome to submit their content, and we really try to find.
Oh, we're going to get into that, Todd. Wait a minute. Don't even spoil. I got that at the end too with a question.
So then one more thing on the animation side before we move on. When you look at this, it's a perfect example, right? There is every style of animation welcome, right? So where, again, even on the animation side, where things are, people always try to put people in a box, right? People are very much in a box, even creatively. And here we have this opportunity for animators to express themselves, to try different techniques. If they normally work at a place or an agency, or they're freelance and they're normally restricted by the client, we say, hey, here's a great story. Create however you see it. Right?
Have at it.
How you see that come to life. Yeah.
I see. Hold on. We got the little video right here. I'm showing you a little bit, folks, that we understand what in the mess we're talking about right here. Because you guys, all right, I see the imagery. What are you guys talking about? This, check it.
So again, as you can see there, what we're really created is this new read watching format, kind of talking about how we're trying to break out of those siloed boxes that everyone is kind of in. Is read watching is the really unlike anything else, like you said, because it's a blend of full animation, music, dialogue, sound effects.
It's immersive, dude.
With prose, yeah, with prose. So you go back from like watching a full animated section, and the very next section is about a page of reading in prose versus comic book format, which allows you to get more depth to the writing, allows more writers to get involved that aren't historically comic book writers. There's so much great storytelling out there, right? And they never really thought of themselves as comic book writers. And then we have comic book writers who want to adapt the comic book into prose. We have really kind of both sides of it. So again, we're very excited about the journey ahead.
You're excited. I'm excited as a comic book fan, because this is how you take advantage of the digital space to bring something new, to differentiate, from the print. You know what I mean? You got to bring something different to the game. I mean, what's the point of me buying a print book when I get the same thing on digital? Boring. But no, here you are now. I can't open up a comic book and listen to music. You know what I mean? Unless I got to turn on my YouTube or some shit. So what you guys are doing here is just absolutely amazing. But what was it? What inspired the sense of it having to be in the way that it is in this multimedia? I mean, who sparked that conversation? How did that happen? What hotel were you guys? What happened in Vegas that night?
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's funny because it's such a natural transition from what we were doing before. As I mentioned, we had already worked with multiple mediums, right? We were in video, working with creators at scale. Then we were in audio, working with creators at scale. So as we looked for, what's the next idea or ecosystem, we always look for creative spaces where it's very top heavy, right? A few people get all the push. a few people break through and they do amazing, but you have so many amazing content creators of comic book writers and writers and movie producers, and where everyone's just trying to break through and find audiences and find place for their work. So we were like, oh, well, the literature space is obviously has room to, evolve. And then similarly on the animation side, all of us are kind of scrolling social media, right? And you see all of these animation, like there's amazing animators on TikTok and Instagram and vertical video, creating little clips. And we were like, man, there must be a way to build those into broader stories, right? What is 30 seconds or 15 seconds of animation? There must be a way to bring those two sides together. Like, how do we get that amazing talent, but give them some content to really flesh it out a little bit more without needing massive budgets, without needing, a studio behind them to produce a feature film or, a limited series. So, we felt that this would be a natural transition, and to do it in vertical video allows us to easily share it on social, right? It's built, like you said, it's built in a way that's intended to be shared, intended to be leveraged, and it's familiar. The usability of it is familiar. It's scrolling, right? It's scrolling left and right. It's scrolling up and down.
Scrolling on a different level, though, because the way that it moves is absolutely gorgeous. Now, you were mentioning about people being able to submit, creators. I mean, they're able to submit. Are you looking for certain stories, in this beginning stages of Storiaverse, or is it a free fall? I mean, what's going on here?
No, absolutely. So we have open submissions for both writers and animators on our website. We've been lucky enough to have well over 1,000 stories submitted. We get,
1,000.
We get many stories every day of amazing writers, and I'm proactively communicating with writers that I reach out to and different content creators. But no, anyone is welcome to submit. Obviously, any genre, as I said, any level of even success. If you're hugely successful as a professional writer, if you're just have a great story that you've been wanting to kind of see if it can get out there in any way, we're open to all story submissions. Every story is reviewed, and we take our time to read. It takes time. Bear with us, as it takes time to go through all those, but everyone does get read. Under 4,000 words is kind of our target, 3,000 to 4,000 words, which is about 12 to 15 pages. You can submit, and that could be a full story, or it might just be a chapter of what you had envisioned of like a longer story, or your comic book might be longer, but you say, okay, I think I could do like a first pilot of it or a chapter of it, and submit that. And we welcome all of that content. And same thing on the animation side. We have open submissions for animators to share their portfolio, and we have hundreds of animators that we've spoken to that are, in queue to get a story and already working on stories. Have over 100 stories in production that will be coming out soon. Yeah.
So are you also open to musicians even, because it says music?
Yes, sir. See, again, so you're already thinking ahead. See, so yeah, I mean, of course, right? The music component of this is such a natural fit as well. So we are having conversations. We have obviously audio engineers that are doing original music for the scores and the soundtracks. I'm working with music artists that are out there and we're gonna.
Oh my God, I see this. Oh my God, bro. Yo, you guys are about to murder. I just had a pop off right there. Like, oh my God. Yeah, you got the right audio people.
Yeah, each one of these, we really want each one to be like a real banger, right? So imagine like if each animation had a big time, music artist, right? A rapper, whatever. Like that's the direction we're going, where each story could be a completely different vibe and music.
Yeah, I mean, yes, there's been comics and music people, but you've had to have them separately. But this is a John that's gonna have it in one place. So you got a soundtrack as yo.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I mean, listen, I'm down. I'm a fan.
I love
it. I'm a fan. I'm a tech fan and kind of. So I'm saying, you guys got me so excited when I saw this pop through on the emails. I was like, I got to find out what's going on here. And guys, creators, I think that if you have a sneaker background, it might be a secret to get in.
That's it. Or if you happen to know someone at Nike that could, so let me know.
All right, wait. I gotta know before we move on a little bit back. I want to whittle back to your geekdom. What is up with that sneaker collection? Holy smokes!
I'm a novice. I'm a novice in the game. That's why I tell people I'm obsessed. Right. I had to stop, like everybody, right? I had to stop when you stop wearing all of them. Then you got to stop. So I don't leave the house enough to start wearing all these. I got pairs that I haven't worn yet, so I had to slow down. My wife kicked me out of the closet. I filled up the closet she kicked me out. She said, put it in your office. And then, now it's a backdrop on Zoom. That's like the natural progression. But
yeah, I'm feeling the yellow and black ones, obviously, above your left shoulder. Yeah, those look dope.
Yeah,
right there. Boom.
Yeah. So like Jordan, I don't want to be too political, but LeBron is my favorite player. I love Jordan. LeBron is my favorite player, but Jordan 1s are my favorite. But Jordan has it with the sneakers, so Jordan 1s are my favorite.
There you go. Yeah. It's okay, folks. Please,
don't hold it against me. I don't want to get into the Michael Jordan. I love them both.
It's okay, different eras too, different players. It's all right. I remember watching Jordan, stuff it to everybody, sticking out his tongue, getting people angry. It was fun. And I see him on me too, uber dramatic, but it's okay. It's basketball.
That's what I said. I don't take it too personally. Exactly.
Yeah. All right. I dig it. So talk about these books, though. I want to bring this back up, because for real, I was planning these books. Tell me about these stories. What can you tell us about the End of the West, the Silver King, Last Tale, a Guide of 1 and 0s, which just that image alone, I'm in love. I'm still curious about that one because of the Disney-esque look. I'm like, okay, I gotta peep this.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's funny with Guides of 1s and 0s specifically, right? So like all these stories came in through submission, right? So over the last year, I'd say about a year ago, as we were developing the app, we started literally just reaching out to writers, right? I mean, that was me a year ago, just going through, sci-fi, fantasy, horror, people that were winning short story awards. And this was before we had anything. And we reached out to some of these writers and really talk about vision. A lot of them were just kind of excited about the idea before we had anything to show them. Now people can see the app and they get excited. But, with these early stories, it was really just me reaching out to them and saying, hey, I love your writing. Would you be interested in writing a short story for us? So, and the same thing with the animators, reaching out to them. Some of them were freelance animators that we found on ArtStation or just on social media, and worked at some of these studios. And again, I just appreciate that early support when it was just an idea, because they said, yeah, let's do it. And, these original stories, these were like early stories that we got into production. Again, you got to think about it before the app was even built. They were working completely blind. They were basically just using us as like, hey, it's going to look like this, but they had no real reference. So
you were guinea pigs.
Yeah, exactly. And it came out amazing. And again, we're proud. Even with Gods of 1s and 0s had, the story come in. Obviously, we love the premise of it. And we gave it to the artist, and we from his portfolio, he had like a very kind of Disney-esque, cute style, and we loved it. And obviously the squirrel in it is like going to be our G. Like we love the squirrel in that story. Yeah, again, when you see it all come together, and then the excitement of the creators when they see it for the first time is like really, really fantastic. And then again, you go from that to End of the West, which is like cows kill, not spoiler alert, but cows turn on people. What we love about these stories, Silver King's one of my favorites, because you're going through, and then there's a lot of these stories. If you get, there's always a twist. We really tried to get you with, a good twist, along the way, especially with the animation, where you're like, every time you're like, oh my God, I can't believe, what is happening. And that's kind of the goal.
How dare they? Gotcha. I dig it. And actually, that God of 1 and 0 also reminds me of Space Ace. If you remember that game, aging myself.
Yeah. No, absolutely. And now, Last Taste, we have that animator is working on their own comic book. So
cool.
Getting back to how we work with creators, we have so many different kind of relationships with the artists, because sometimes, like you said, we have writers just writing standalone stories where we match them with an animator, and the animators are animated. Okay. But now we've transitioned into where those animators that we love, we give them a platform to publish their own stuff. So we have multiple animators that are producing their own, animations and stories in our format specifically for us, as well as adapting, comic books into our format. So now there's so many different relationships, and the animator there is amazing. And we're soon should be launching his own story, which is really exciting for a lot of these animators.
I'm digging it. And so is this a creator-owned platform? How does that work for the creators that get involved on the platform?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, our whole goal here is obviously to support them, not only from a monetization perspective, but, in support of their work and, crediting them and building their own fan base, et cetera. Yeah. So right now it's everything is flat fee. So we negotiate flat fees up front for licensing and different things, or creator work, et cetera. But as we grow, we're going to have additional monetization. Right now, it's free. So go check it out, download it. Everyone that listens, download it.
Yeah. Free. This is where you go again right there.
No better way than free. But eventually we'll have monetization opportunities, with the subscription or something like that, where we can then have additional monetization for creators. But again, here it's really in an effort and a collaboration with them to build their work. Every story is credited. Everything has a credits at the end where we're going to build out, places for people to follow them, to see the other stories that they have published, and hopefully support their other work that they're working on, in their portfolio, in their other projects and future endeavors.
So when they get the Storiaverse Con, where you celebrate all these, do a whole in a movie theater or something, I'm giving you ideas, man. Come on, we got to sell the crap out of it because this is a wonderful platform. Again, folks, you know who I'm talking about. They left the game. Amazon don't care about them. Now we got somebody even better. Something better came to replace that. That's even more in tune with the fan base. Fuck yeah. I mean, on multimedia, that's what we need. We need to have that fully immersive experience with the way we're going. I mean, shit, are you guys going to dig into AR at all as well? Or what was going on here? I mean, you guys are techie and kind of bookish. I just kind of see that. What's going on?
Yeah, I mean, again, we have a lot of stuff in the my co-founder Dave. He gets mad every time I try to put new things on the roadmap. He's
how dare I do that?
Every time someone like you says, "Oh, it would be cool. We should do this," and then he says, "Like, I got a lot of things before that." Every time I say that, he's like, "We'll put it at the list of a lot of things that we have coming." But no, we definitely want to be on the forefront of the technology side of things, right? That's kind of our expertise: streamlining production, streamlining collaboration, the end user experience. The way that we're going to be leveraging, like you said, audio and music and, the narration. I mean, so many fun things coming.
So wait. Folks, again, look at it. This is another layer. I forgot to mention that when he just said it, narration. So, I mean, are there even voiceover opportunities?
Yes. Yeah. You'll hear that. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. There's dialogue in the animated section. So, yeah, absolutely. Again, like this is, the animated parts are fully immersive: music, sound effects, audio for voiceover, acting, etc. And eventually there'll be opportunities, for narration.
Crazy. This is a studio. I mean, what does your studio look like? It must be the size of an Amazon building.
Yeah, exactly not. But exactly, it's the exact opposite. This is. Again, what's exciting and scalable for us is that we're entrusting a lot of the creative to the individual creators, right? So they're all around the world. I mean, that's kind of the opposite of what we're doing. Like, we're not a single studio that's pushing these things out in one voice or one style, or this is our, what we do. Like, we have hundreds of writers, hundreds of creators and animators that are all over the world that are, putting their art out there, doing the animation, doing the audio, writing the stories. So it allows us to be kind of endlessly scalable in this medium.
I'm digging it, brother. I am digging it. So tell them, folks, if they want to submit, where can they submit, and what is the expectancy on a response?
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, go to Storiaverse.com. They have an open submission, right, for writers and animators. As I said, with the writers, it could be, you could submit multiple works. Try to keep it under 4,000 words if it's a standalone story, or clearly identify if it's like a first chapter or a pilot or whatever it might be. But that's kind of our target range for what we would produce. All genres welcome. And, again, on turnaround time, give us a couple months realistically. It's kind of slowed down. I'm being candid. It has slowed down because we have a lot of submissions and we're really trying to push through the pipeline. But always feel free to reach out. You can reach out to us through the website. A lot of writers are just checking in. Hey, I want to make sure if you got my story, we respond right away, because it's not specific to any writer. Obviously, it's a bandwidth, and we want to give everyone the right amount of attention to their story, because ironically, what happens is, 6 months ago, we might've had a lot of stories about AI robots. So we didn't think it was a good fit at that time, but 6 months later, we have a lot more, and now we want to go back to that story. So, again, it's really a question of how it all fits together. And sometimes I might reach out to a writer and say, hey, I loved your writing. This story wasn't a fit, but what else can we come up with? What other ideas do you have? And that's how we have a lot of our stories is I reached out to the writer. I said, hey, I really dig what you're doing, but do you have any other ideas? Do you have any other stories that are even reprints that, you know, we could look at? And we find a lot of stories that way. So we're always eager to work with you know, the creatives and find ways to find the right project.
Excellent. Now, you know, talking about that and maybe meeting them in real life, are you guys going to be doing any conventions, hitting any show floors? What's going on this year?
Yeah. No, absolutely. So yeah, the plans are certainly to be out there. Probably not we just launched, so probably not a big presence at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, Anime Con. I'll be out there working on maybe some things.
You'll work the floor, but you're not going to be at a booth.
Come find me. Come email me, text me, come find me. But yes, we'll definitely start having a presence.
It's a new game. Instead of Where's Waldo, it'll be Where's Todd at San Diego. Let's go.
Find me. Yeah, text me and I'm happy to meet up. But no, we're working on some very exciting collaborations with other, you know, different things that we'll hope to be kind of promoting and launching there in collaboration with those people. So very exciting things coming. Yeah.
I'm digging it. So Todd, I know I've been showing off the amazing company that is Storiaverse, .com, folks. Storiaverse, that's STORIAVERSE.com. All right. The same for on the socials everywhere, because it's a unique name. All right. I've been showing these up, but Todd, you know, if people wanted to follow you as an individual human being, where can they follow you?
Yeah. Ironically, I'm like, brother, I'm not. You can find me at Todd Gallet 1, but I'm not a big, you know, Instagram guy.
You're not taking in the talking and not putting yourself out there with the duck lips, talking about Storiaverse, like.
Yeah, exactly. You know, my wife, she says, I'm like, I watch everyone else's content, but I'm not interesting enough to publish my own stuff.
I feel you. I don't really kind of do that either. When I do, I almost kind of feel because I'm obligated to, other than this. But when it comes to the social, yeah, like, you know, I try, but I'm like, this is not me. I like to do.
I know, brother. I think we're. I'm like beyond I'm not aging either of us, but I'm beyond that age group of thinking that I'm interesting enough to put my stuff out there every day.
I was told that numerous times by my ex. So I said, okay, I guess I'm not interesting, even though I have great hair. Maybe I have to travel to Mars at the guy from the drink company, you know.
That's it. Now you got the good beard. It look good. But yeah, so I think that follow me on LinkedIn. Obviously, I have a presence on LinkedIn. But you know, reach out to me, Todd at Storiaverse. If you have any questions, if you want to chat, I'm available. I'm not on social. I'm not an influencer myself. I'm behind the camera, but reach out to me anytime.
But those are the guys that matter, folks. So they're not the ones in front of the cameras. One of those behind that are making the magic work. You know what I mean? Because they're too busy to be in front of the camera. They are making stuff work. They are working hard for you. You know, enough respect, man. I mean, you know, ahead of partnerships, you know, you're building, you know, this wonderful platform. Thank you for bringing something new and different to the game. Because again, that's fully immersive, John. Yo, what you and your homies are doing, bless. I'm a fan. You know, please send us any info, any of your creators that are on your platform, because we gotta let people know how dope this is. And finally, an alternative to the other one that is kind of, you know, leaving us, if you will. This is the proper alternative, I think, honestly, 100%.
We appreciate all the support from all the creator community on all sides, writing, animating, studios that are supporting us in what we're doing. And again, we are just starting this long journey ahead. So we are always looking to work with new creatives and you know, appreciate people like yourself who, you know, are excited. Yeah.
I'm gonna send people your way. I got some people that might want to check this out. All right, so you know, and one of them has a cool little horror story that if they animate that little doll, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. That would be horrifying.
Yeah, I love it.
I think I got somebody for you that could bring you a horror story. And with that, yeah, this is the amazing Todd Gallet. I mean, head of partnerships over at Storiaverse, folks. One more time, please check out their website, Storiaverse.com. Check them out all over the socials of Storiaverse, all right? The Instas everywhere. I'm telling you, download the app. It is absolutely free. It is available today, right now. You guys have a phone. You're watching me possibly on a phone. So as soon as this is over, go to your favorite app store and download the app for free. That's right. Your favorite effort other than the other one. Free. That's right. Don't be fresh. Free. All right. This is the other effort, dopest app on the planet right now that you guys got to check out. That's right. Big Todd, Omega, Comic Crusaders. Thanks for tuning in. Hasta la próxima, mi gente. Wepa!
Thank you for listening to the Comic Crusaders podcast. If you like the content, please subscribe and turn on notifications. Also, please visit comiccrusaders.shop and our extended podcast family over at undercovercapes.com. And also, make sure to download the Comic Crusaders app on the Google Play Store today.